This presentation provides instructions on how to fill out the specimen information form when submitting a sample to the Plant Disease Clinic at Penn State. This is an important step, and the information provided will help us to make an accurate diagnosis. You can get a copy of the specimen information form at your county's Penn State Extension office. To find your county's office, you can go to the website extension.psu.edu/counties. You can also find a PDF of the form on the Plant Disease Clinic website. You can type the information into the form and print it out to send in with your sample. If you are working in a Penn State Extension office and need more copies of the form, you can contact the Plant Disease Clinic for more copies. When submitting samples to the clinic, fill out a separate form for each plant sample you are submitting. For example, if you are submitting a hemlock sample and a spruce sample from your yard, then fill out a separate form for each plant. In the client information section of the form, fill in the complete mailing address, including the zip code. This is the address we will use to mail you a report and any additional information regarding your sample. Some people have a physical address and a mailing address, such as a P.O. box number. You want to make sure you put the mailing address in this section. Check the appropriate box in the submitter information section. If the sample is being sent from an extension office, then check the appropriate box on the left for Extension Office for a commercial or homeowner sample. Check one of the boxes on the right if the sample is not being sent from an extension office. There is also a box in this section to check for certified organic growers. This is so we can provide appropriate management recommendations. Include any identifying information for the sample on the front of the form in the client section or next to the name of the plant, such as a client name or a location of the plant. Label both the sample and the form with any identifying information. This is important if you are sending two samples of the same type of plant, such as a hemlock, from different locations on a property, such as next to the driveway and in the backyard. Describe the problem in your own words. Use complete sentences and describe the symptoms you are seeing. Include extra pages if there is not enough space on the specimen information form. Fill out the bottom of the first page by answering the specific sections regarding the symptoms, type of planting, disease distribution, and location. Make sure you fill out both pages of the specimen information form. The second page contains important information that could help us make a diagnosis. Indicate the size of the planting and estimate the number of plants that are affected. For example, you could have 10 acres of corn and 50% of the plants are showing symptoms. Or you could have 5 hemlock trees and only 3 of the trees are showing symptoms. If you only have one plant, then you can indicate the percentage of the plant that is showing symptoms. For example, you could have one oak tree showing symptoms of browning leaves and dieback, and about 30% of the tree is showing these symptoms. Fill out as much information as possible in the other sections of the form, including the previous crop or previous plant that was in the same location. For example, if you are submitting a sample from an arborvitae, and there was another arborvitae planted in the same location that died last year, this is important information for us to know. Include information on the age and size of the plant. If you are not sure, then it can be helpful to give an estimate. Also include information on any treatments that were applied to the plants during the current season and the previous season, and indicate any disturbances that may have taken place near the plant. There are sections on the second page that ask specific questions about turfgrass samples and samples from greenhouses. If you are submitting a turfgrass sample from a home lawn or commercial property, then you should fill out this section. If you are submitting a turfgrass sample from a golf course, then you will need to submit the sample to the Turfgrass Disease Clinic. You can find links to information on the Turf Clinic by visiting our department website at plantpath.psu.edu. You can include additional comments at the bottom of the second page. Provide as much information as you can about your sample. You can include additional notes and pictures with your sample when you submit it. Before collecting and submitting your sample, read our information on how to collect and send a good sample for diagnosis.